Hello Taurus, welcome to your December 2020 reading. This one's for you. And I'm also a Taurus, and so just before I turn on the camera I had this feeling of like, oh, I'm doing Taurus, I'm at home. I'm in my house, I'm hearing wheelhouse. And this card really wanted to come out of the deck as I was shuffling. And it's the card of atomic structure. And just as I was thinking atomic, I was hearing surveillance, and it sounded like the construct was atomic surveillance. And so we've got some blending of information, material, I'm hearing dialogue here, carrying over from the past, just the last few videos that I did. I did Capricorn, I did Aquarius, I just did Pisces, and so now Taurus. And it kind of reminds me of the interference patterns of waves. I'm hearing particle duality wave function, and so that's really a nod at wave particle duality. I don't know if you're someone who's interested in science, but this is a science deck. It's the Quantum Version Tarot 2.0. And so we're looking down at the Hubble telescope here, which is interesting. It is in reverse. It's the Three of Pentacles, 3, which is the number of planning. And so a material, I'm hearing force, I'm hearing guide, her, I'm hearing. But also, the Hubble telescope was launched under the sign of Taurus. And I believe it was either April 23rd or April 24th that the Hubble telescope was launched in 1990. And so we're looking at this bird's eye point of view, and it's really asking you to expand, I'm hearing your consciousness, but expand your point of view to something that is unlimited. Unlimit your point of view to unlimit your potential is really what I think of. And so we're going to have that as your center card here. I'm going to pull a Celtic cross for you, Taurus. This is December 2020. And it's crossed by the Fool card. I'm hearing unmissed dialogue. Is there something, I'm hearing Greer, like G-R-E-E-R, and that is a past repetition. The word or name Greer. It has cycled through for over, let's say, over a year now. Greer, over a year. So the Fool card, I'm hearing coming out about something as I'm looking down at the Fool card, and I'm hearing excavation, I'm hearing knowledge. Something that perhaps you didn't previously know that now you know. And it's the Fool card. It's also a card of transformation as we see this butterfly here. So you could be even, I'm hearing breaking out of your shell, but transforming something. I'm hearing dialogue, something in the works that's transforming. And it could be something, I'm hearing appropriations of knowledge. Could be something that is calling you to expand your point of view, to aid you on your journey. This is a card of really heading forth in blind faith, and it looks like it's also the card of the Big Bang. So it could be the inception of something. It could be the inception of something that is in the process of transformation that could have... let's look at a little bit of people dynamics, actually, because I'm looking down at this jester, and I'm really seeing someone who has been, I'm hearing abused. Honestly, I'm seeing someone who has had an interplay with a person, group of persons, or thing, and I'm hearing technology. And this could be something that's happened over social media or telecommunications for you. But it looks like this jester is kind of in vain, making someone the brunt of a bad joke, or some kind of humor or humiliation that others found comical that was not so funny, to an abusive degree. Three of Pentacles is what it's crossing, which is also the card of atomic structure. I'm hearing nasty. I'm hearing dialogue. So whatever this process or progress, whatever this situation is, it is has I'm hearing point of no return. It has been conceived, and it is on its way to transformation. It also reminds me of the 0 point field, the 0 here, and it could be something that is literally gestating. It also makes me think of the womb. I'm hearing womb technology, something that is in the process of transformation, or something that's ever transforming, perhaps in the cradle board of creation itself. It could be anything large or small. And it doesn't have to be I know some grandiose, I'm hearing theory, I'm hearing dialogue. Okay, let's look at your crowning card here. We've got the Magician. And I'm seeing this force of like humiliation or like someone making fun or like teasing. I'm hearing comic, comical, comedian. It's the Jester, and something has been made fun of that isn't funny. And so we're seeing really with that on the conscious mind is the force of the Magician. Unfortunately in this deck, it does look a little bit dark, right? Dark magic comes to mind when I see it sometimes. This person is kind of also concealed. I'm hearing identity behind these blacker colors here. While the forces that they're working with are being juggled, I'm hearing magnetic attraction. This is the card of electromagnetism in this deck. The Magician, major arcana card, and it's interesting because we've got atomic structure, then we've got the Big Bang, we've got electromagnetism, 0, the card of the Fool, and 1, the card of the Magician. And it's funny to look down at the Jester here and see this Jester hat, and I'm hearing jingle bells and twinkle toes. And so because it's almost like they look like they're juggling here, and I'm hearing circus clown. So juggling forces also of manifestation. Whatever this is on your conscious mind is something that's very magnetic. Let's look at your past. We've got Centaurus, and I'm thinking of Poison Arrow. Centaurus, and also this calls to the story of Chiron, the wounded healer, and as I say that, the Tower card is coming out. You could have, something's coming out, you could have, I'm hearing offered a hand. I'm hearing no, negligent fairy, nay, Naylay, which reminds me of melee, like a fight. And I'm looking down at this soldier card or warrior card. It's the Knight of Pentacles. This is a centaur here, and it looks like a holographic centaur under the sign of Taurus here. Moving through the forest, kind of with their front legs reared up and ready to go. It kind of makes me think of like revving up an engine. And they're looking backwards into the past. You could be someone who is delving into the past. You could be someone who is literally I'm hearing espionage, taking that as a journey. I'm hearing of manifestation, but I'm really thinking of turning over stones. I think of it as like this past tower where what's happened with this fall. I'm hearing great lengths that has caused kind of like whatever a force of destruction or what has been left in the wake. I'm hearing aftermath, and I'm seeing it. I'm hearing gemstone as it's kind of trying to do laps around me and kind of beat me to the punch here with these transmissions. But that I'm relaying to you. I'm hearing selfhood, and so with this tower, I'm hearing dialogue. I'm hearing Hierophant. There could be something that is literally like this entire wealth or space of knowledge. And this could be something that's actually occupying the mind space and have to do with physical reality itself. But also I think of, when I look at this Pentacle card, information. Someone who is like a pioneer of information. Someone who is like a warrior or warriorism when it comes to information. Someone who handles some type of information that's valuable. And it's almost like the information moves itself. It's almost like the information moves itself. It's almost like the information I'm getting speaks for itself. I'm hearing dialogue. And so looking back at the Tower card here, this person is really like rooting through or going to take this journey through the past where this fall has happened. What's been left over is also reminds me, I'm hearing spelunking, I'm hearing light. It's also like, I get like mining, a miner of information. You could be mining for information. Yes, and I'm getting the Sun card for that. I'm hearing youthful exuberance. You could be mining for information during this time, or trying to shine a light on some kind of information. And I'm literally seeing this as like, among all of the, I'm hearing mass amassment, among all of the rubble, the debris, and what's left over from the fall from this tower, we find, rubies, gemstones, diamonds. We find just these absolute, I'm hearing pure effect, perfect. Perfect? I don't know. We find just these shiny diamonds and wealths and just crystallization of just pure raw material, and I'm seeing that as like information, pure raw material that you're mining for, that has been left in the wake of this damage, and it seems like this is an unbelievably serious situation that has been made fun of. I'm hearing by the Hierophant. And again, we've got the Fool in reverse here, joking around, and it's like making fun of or like comedy at the wake or sake of someone's demise. It's like laughing. I'm hearing it spoils, and I'm thinking the spoils of war, which is repetitious from my past. A lot of repetitious dialogue has been mined and has been used to mine the mind. Transmissions. And it makes me think of that Percy Shelley. I don't know if you're a poet, but I also kind of see, I'm hearing the romantic hero, and this is the sign of Taurus, December 2020, and this is the card of Centaurus. Taurians can absolutely be poets as well. They're sensual. They like things that appeal to the senses, but also things that appeal to that are sensual. I'm hearing dialogue, but I'm really thinking of poetry as well. I'm hearing the material is dark, and so where are we going here? Centaurus here at the past. It's almost like your past is looking at your past, kind of thing, and shining a light on it. It's almost like the Sun card is shining a light right through the tower situation and through the forest onto this holographic centaur. And the centaur calls to the story of Chiron, the wounded healer, and this situation regarding literally a wounded healer, it looks like. Someone who's been wounded, perhaps in battle, whether it be a mental or physical or emotional battle. This person has covered a lot of ground. I'm hearing territory. Chiron, the wounded healer, was shot by a poison arrow by his friend, a centaur, and it was an accident. But nonetheless, Chiron spent his life trying to heal himself and was unsuccessful. A little bit of a sad story there. So let's look forward into the future, and we're getting a star card. This just seems really aligned to me, whatever the situation is, from the sun straight through to the star. And that is 17, the star card. Some kind of synthesis, perhaps, or distillation of information. It looks like whatever you're recollecting here, and remember, it could be a focus for you. Whatever you're remembering, I mean, it looks like you're really taking your time with this, because it's almost like with the ripple of every wave and water here is something that is like precious. That's a knock at my door. Taurus, I think I'm going to take a pause here. That's a lot of knocks. It sounds like a child is knocking at my door. Why don't I come back to this and do a part 2?